Welcome back to the Fouad Abiad Media channel, and today we're going to discuss the Dubai Pro Classic and what perfect guest to discuss it with. Michael Daboul, Olympia qualified, Arnold Classic two-time champion, UK champion. How are you feeling?
Actually, I won Dubai Pro. I won Dubai Pro last year.
You won Dubai Pro. Quickly, before we go into our top six, what does it mean to be fighting for $20,000 than just this itty-bitty $2,000 pocket change money I don't like to see?
Well,
what's the difference?
It's really a lot of money. That's why a lot of people jumped in. Like, it can change a lot, you know, like it's really good money. It can help you financially. It can help you mentally as well to be ready for the Olympia. You know, when you have $20,000 more in your pocket, that will be really a relief. And you can focus more on the Olympia. It's very good money. I was disappointed when they announced it. I was like, I wish I could do it.
We have a tremendous list. As you guys can see on the screen, the full list, a lot of guys. We picked 6 guys to stand out, but actually there's even 2 guys that made the Olympia you haven't even put on the list, Michael. First, Wesley Vissers. He's going to be dangerous coming off the Spain Pro win, correct?
Yeah, he is very dangerous. I have him in the top 2. I have Rough Diesel in the first place, Wesley in the second place. And actually, like, it's tight in the second place, not really clear second, because in Spain, it was very close between Wesley and Middleman, and they both doing the same show. And it's different judging, so it might be, they might have a different opinion. So I don't know, like, it's very close. Like, I will give you my top 6, and now let's talk about all of them.
Okay, so your top 6, you have Vissers in the top 6?
Yes, definitely.
You have Modelman that you just discussed in the top 6?
100%.
Terence Ruffin coming back, top 6 last year Olympia. It's not a good showing from him. He's improved. He's looking. You've seen him in Dubai. How is he looking?
He look freaking good, man. That's the best Rough Diesel I ever see. That's really good Rough Diesel. Like, he gonna shake things up. I think he's coming back to be in the top 3 conversation in the Olympia.
Really? So he's beating you?
Well, like, I don't know. Like, we will see, but he's really good. He's really, really good, man.
What did you see him in? When did you see him last?
It's like 1 week ago.
How was his conditioning?
He was ready. He was really ready. Yeah.
Has he gone up in size? Because he's one of the smaller guys, so he can put up, or in height wise, so he can put on some more size. Has he put on the size, or?
Yes, last year he was allowed to be 176, I think. And this year he's allowed to be 182, and he is now 181, and he's ready at 181. So he put like 5 pounds.
Your next guy on the list is to make the top 6?
Chen Kang, the Asian guy from China.
What legs?
Freaking amazing legs, man. Yeah.
You have him in the top 6. Why?
Well, he have great structure and like amazing muscle belly. He's very full. His only issue is condition. If he nailed his condition, he could be dangerous. He can shake the whole thing up as well. Like, he was top 5 in the Olympia 2020, I think.
Does he have what it takes to a major upset and beat Vissers and Terence, do you think? You think it's possible if he's on?
If he's on, it's possible, man. He's really, really good.
He's that good?
Yeah. He's really, really good. Like, his only issue is condition. He never nailed it. So if he nailed it, man, it's very tough. It's very tough. Structurally, I think if he nailed 100%, he can be top 2 Olympia.
What, top 2?
Yes, that's how good he is. But he's always off. And like, you know, you can have all the genetic in the world, but if you don't come 100%, that doesn't mean nothing.
So he's the opposite of you.
Well, I can say that. Like, I always like come in. I don't miss.
You never miss.
So, yeah, and he never come in.
So there you go. The 5th guy you would like to highlight would be
Fabio from Brazil.
He just qualified to the Olympia from Brazil. Crazy muscle bellies. Talk to us about what you like about his physique.
His back, man. He have one of the best back double biceps in the classic physique division.
Wow.
Definitely. Yeah.
Easy that. There's a lot of good Brazilians choosing classic, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you been to Brazil and seen the bodybuilding community there, or?
No, but I really wish. I'm like, it's jumping into my mind after the Olympia. There's a show 1 week later, so I might consider it, but I'm not sure yet.
The last guy, and listen, 5 good guys you mentioned. The list
Those
is
are the top 5 for me. And
those are your top 5.
Yes, the 6, it's tied up. I have, like, it could be Valentin if he nailed it, and it could be Georgian from Romania if he nailed it. And I forgot the other one.
Georgian, he made the Olympia. Beautiful physique.
He made the Olympia. Yeah, he beat me in Italy in 2019, 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Valentin made the Olympia.
Made the Olympia as well,
yeah. Young guy. Let's see the improvements. This is a stacked. Is this the best classic show of the year other than the Arnold?
100%. I think, like, in the Arnold, it was between Urs and Ramon. Everybody knew it's Ramon or Urs. But here, nobody knows who's. All the top 6 can change like that.
Because in your dominating win this year, you won New York and Pittsburgh with perfect score. Even though the other guys were good, the whole story was who can beat you. So here it's a little bit, as you know, 6 guys. And even though, what can I say? This is a big show for Terence, isn't it? Because if he wants to get back into that, Weinberger is judging, the Olympia judge. Is this a must win? Well, of course you can get better for Olympia, but this means a lot to Terence Ruffin, isn't it?
To be or not to be, he need to prove himself because, he had, but like, Terence Ruffin is always on. He had one bad show and he still made it top 6 in the world, beating everybody, beating me at my best, and beating a lot of people who were at their best, and he was at his worst. So, we can't put him away just because of bad showing. I have him winning. I'm very confident after I saw him in Dubai, he can win. And I'm sure he will bring his best. Like, he's very hungry. He's very focused, and he knows what he wants. Like, he wants to be back, and he wants to prove to himself and to people, like, it was just one bad show.
We're going to end it here, but one thing, how is your mindset now? Less than 7 weeks to go. You're going into the Olympia with 2 pro wins this season. You're going in as one of the favorites. What's your mindset now, less than 7 weeks out?
I'm very focused. I'm very motivated. I know this weight increasement will help me a lot because I'm someone who used to struggle a lot to make weight. So I know it will help me a lot to get fuller and come in the same condition, if not better, with the fullness I will have. So the muscle will be popping more. So I will look more shredded. So I'm very confident this year I can crack the top 5, hopefully, man.
Thank you very much for your insight. And
I have a question for you before we end it up.
Yes.
Give me an order how you have the top 6 in Dubai.
In order? Oh, no. I can say I can give you the top 3, but not in any order.
I need an order. Who you have winning?
Because I can't, because I might interview the other guy right now. So anyway, okay. The top 3. The top 3 is going to be between Vissers, Terence, and the Brazilian.
Well, I have. I will give you an order for the top 6 exactly.
Well, give me your order before we go.
Yeah, I have Rough Diesel first, Middleman second, Wesley third, Fabio fourth, and fifth, the Chinese guy. Sixth, I have Georgian from Romania.
Thank you very much for your picks, and I'll see you at the Olympia.
See you at the Olympia, bro. Take care.
Bye-bye. Welcome, everyone, to the Fouad Abiad Media Channel. I'm AJ, and today we're joined by, if not my absolute favorite classic stars of all time, Wesley Vissers. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very, very good and very happy after this victory.
Wesley, what a perfect win in Spain. Best ever physique, best ever package. You beat an incredible champion in Madelman. It was a two-man matchup. Talk to us about your victory.
Yeah, like you say, a two-man matchup. I've never actually had that before. To
Wow.
like when the regular callouts came out, and then afterwards, like the true callouts.
Yeah.
Me and Madelman were the only ones who weren't in that final call out, basically. So I was like, okay, this is the first time I'm actually left out of that comparison. And then I was like, okay, Madelman is standing over there, I'm standing over here, so it must do a two-man call out after this, which was a very special feeling. So then I knew it's going to be a battle for sure, because he's a very different physique. So it was like, okay, what are they going to go for? Also knowing, of course, he is from Spain, which you always think that plays a little bit of a role. You can't help it but think that's a case. But once we were posing there, the audience was so amazing. The atmosphere was amazing.
Spain
I've
audience
been
is
to
the
the
best.
Empro. Yeah, I've been to the Empro just like you as well, which I already recognized that the audience was amazing back then. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a great show to compete at, and it gave me so much energy to keep posing and to show my best package. And it was just an amazing battle for sure. And then to actually win, the relief was incredible, knowing that now I'm going to the Olympia already. So, and now, of course, Dubai is coming up next, but it gives me a lot of motivation to keep going forward for sure.
How was that? Because in open bodybuilding, we have two-man matchup all the time. In classic, especially in Europe, I don't think in America that much either. We don't see that too often. You're not Olympia qualified. You know you got it. You want this victory. They're calling you out. It's just you and him. What goes through your body? Like, okay, what goes through your body then? How do you feel?
Okay. I know that every pose needs to be perfect. I know every pose needs to be nailed because I know my weaknesses, but also my strengths. And I know exactly, okay, this is the time to show everything to perfection, what I practiced. Because when it's one versus one, they will only compare you and the other guy instead of five guys in total, for example. So they can be focused entirely on you. So instead of looking at strengths, they might actually look, okay, who's going to show the most weaknesses now? So you got to hide or not show any weaknesses at all. So that was going through my mind. And of course, the excitement, the adrenaline, and knowing that it's me versus him, you don't feel any tiredness at all or any fatigue. You just go, do your thing, and smile and be happy about it because that's what I'm doing this for. The passion really was there at that very moment. And it was just an amazing feeling to do so.
Uh, Talk to us. And how often do you practice your posing? A lot of people don't do practice it at all, and some practice it a lot. How's your strategy when it comes to practicing posing?
Yeah, so I think most people don't do it because they might not check in with their coach as often. But when I check in with my coach, I automatically do my posing practice as well. So my regular routine would just be to wake up, then do the cardio, and then after the cardio, the second portion of the cardio is basically posing practice.
Hmm.
And during the posing practice, I take pictures. And during the pictures, I can see if I nail the pose the way that I want to. And of course, my coach and also gives me feedback on whether I should change something up in the poses as well. So every single morning, every single day, I do the posing practice and improve upon little tweaks here and there to make it perfect for my personal physique. So yeah, posing practice is definitely there every single day.
And for people at home, you're not just sitting at home playing PlayStation. You have two kids, correct, right now?
Yeah, I have two children. That's right. Yeah.
And
So
they're
it's always
small.
busy.
Is that, do you get time? Because they're smaller kids. Is it a lot of action going around in the house all the time?
It was pretty, yeah, you're never bored, let's just say that. But I always try to look at the positive thing because normally when you're in prep, you get tired and you may not do as much, which means you may not burn as much fat.
Yeah.
But with children, you're always nailing the amount of steps you need to take. I take them out for a walk in the morning, after dinner, for example, and you're walking around the house, cleaning their toys, and you're always doing something, and automatically you're very active. So you automatically burn a lot more calories. So that's kind of a positive thing that I take from
Yeah.
it as well. And of course, my girlfriend Marley, she's a rock, and she's my true support in this as well, because she takes up a lot of responsibility with the children as an amazing mom that she is. Because, as I always say, they say bodybuilding is an individual sport, but it really is teamwork to make it work in the end.
And also, well, for myself, on the health, doesn't it help to stay busy when you're on the diet? You don't think about being hungry so much.
Yeah, you have to be productive. So, of course, I have my business and the clothing and the coaching, but having children really does help fill in those gaps where you might be looking at the clock for the next meal. Actually, it's already past the time I should be eating the meal because I was so busy. So it's a kind of a positive thing that way.
Talk to us a little bit about your physique. The weight limit is up, correct? From your weight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as much because the weight limit went up more for the shorter guys. So actually, someone like Madelman would benefit more from the weight increase compared to me, because for me it's only 900 grams or 2 pounds.
That's it.
But yeah, that's it. But it's because the weigh-in at the European Pro was in the evening. So that 900 grams does give me 2 extra meals to be able to eat during the day, which normally I would not be able to eat and have to starve myself until the evening to weigh in. So if in the morning it's never a problem to make weight, but if it's late in the day and it's supposedly a day where you have to load carbs, then it's always going to be more of a challenge. But that 900 grams, even though it sounds low, it does give you a little bit more room to grow into your weight basically during the loading. And that did help me this time.
It was such a tremendous. I know you're probably tired of the Arnold Schwarzenegger comparisons, but it was like it was when you do the twisting back double by. It's. Do you think about? No, of course not. But when you see those pictures, the twist later, the beautiful picture that's out on the German. I think it's taken by Andre, the Italian photographer from backstage.
Yeah, and also Mats from Rep One also took a video of it. So someone
what do you think
else
when you see this?
Yeah, I was surprised myself because actually I achieved my best shape at that little photo shoot, because my coach was like, "Whoa, this is incredible. Now you're really exploding," because of course all the adrenaline is now rushing, but also the stress is gone. So, and I was starting to sweat a little bit more after the show because you're doing the poses the whole time for the photo shoot, and I could feel myself tightening up, but I was still very full. So when I did the side chest and a 3/4 back double bicep, that the perfect package was actually shown on those pictures. And I was surprised how good those poses looked as well. So it was a pleasant surprise to see.
This is truly something special, especially us that, of course, everything is classic, but this is true. When the class was created, this was the vision, at least I had, and we don't see that much. But when we see it, like you, it's not lightweight bodybuilding. It's classic. It's art.
Yeah, and that's what I'm very happy that I won this show, because it was exactly that kind of comparison. Someone smaller, more muscular pound for pound, but still aesthetic. But arguably, he literally already did 212 at the RL Classic UK, for example.
There you go.
So he fits into that class, which it could impossibly do. The only class that I could do ever is classic. It's classic physique. So they chose for that kind of physique, which makes me very happy, because that really means that the classic bodybuilding that I stand for is being rewarded with the first place. And yet, just like you're saying, I want to bring the combination of like the classic bodybuilding from the 70s with the standards of conditioning and the proportions of today, which I'm getting closer and closer to that perfect look. So yeah, that's really my dream, to make that happen every time on stage.
Dubai Pro, the most stacked classic show of 2023, besides the Olympia that's going to come up, and maybe the Arnold Classic Ohio, maybe. Madelman again. What is his real name? Do you know his? Because
I think I'm Jose Maria those are his first two names, and he has two more names afterwards, which I don't remember. But I know it's Jose. That's his first name.
Valentin from Olympia qualified. We have the Brazilian who is looking tremendous. Is it Junio? Is Fabio?
Fabio, yeah.
Fabio.
Yeah.
And obviously the man everyone is predicting you're going to be with, because now you already beat Modelman.
Yeah.
But you never know. Physiques can change, but you're going against Terence Ruffin, the man who needs redemption from his Olympia package, because that was not the look he wanted to present. He has packed on more size because he's short, so he has this one hell of a show in Dubai, Wesley, that's coming up.
It is. Yeah. Rough Diesel, of course, because you got to remember, he was number 6 at the Olympia. I was number 8. Yeah. And his shape was not his best. So that already goes to show that he's a very incredible athlete in the class. But compared to the Olympia, I've improved a whole lot myself. So it really comes down, especially now that we're probably going to be compared side by side, way more closely than at the Olympia, so the judges can truly see now, okay, what physique are we going to choose? So it's really going to come down to, okay, the preference of what do we really think is a true classic physique that fits the class better. And obviously conditioning and fullness and the proportions and presentation all count, but I'm going to do my very best to have those nailed. So it's really going to come down to the preference of which kind of physique are they going to go for. Because I know myself for sure, the shape I'll be showing at the Dubai Pro will be better than at the European Pro. That's always the case with me. This was the first show, and the second show is always better because now you lose the stress. You're already Olympia qualified, and you can always dry up a little bit more within a week. And I feel more confident on stage. The presentation will be better because you've already done a show. So I will need all of those advantages against someone who has an incredible presentation like Rough Diesel has. So it feels very exciting to battle against him.
When the class was created and when you came on the scene, well, the class was created before you turned pro, but the goal was always to win the Olympia, I would imagine. And you had your ups, your highs and lows, meaning us in Europe, we always had you as like, we were expecting you before Bumstead. We were like, this is the Mr. Olympia coming here. But slowly and steady, you're getting there. Is this like, because if you beat Terence here, it's a sign that you might become them, because you have Wesley with Bumstead, he's like alone, and then you have Urs and Ramon, who's like the next in line, and used to be Terence.
Yeah.
So this is a really, if you can beat an improved Terence with your improved physique now, does that put you into that I can be in that top 3 Olympia thing?
Yeah, for sure. I think at least immediately the top 5. That's if I beat Rough Diesel, because he's, of course, he was second multiple times against Chris, and just because he didn't show an improved package last year, he couldn't get to that placing again. But it's going to be interesting. Okay, you have Ramon, you have Urs, you have Rough Diesel. But that's really going to be interesting at the Olympia, how those are going to be placed, assuming Chris will be first again. But then now you have me as a wild card, basically, depending on how Dubai will go. But ultimately, if I'm compared to Rough Diesel and it's going to be a 2-man show again, that'll put me closer to that top 5 regardless, because Rough Diesel is so good. And if the scores will be very close, even if I don't win, it's still going to be a very positive thing for me at the Olympia. But of course, I'm coming to win Dubai Pro, which I truly believe is a possibility. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see what's going to happen at the Dubai Pro.
We also have, that's very important through the Olympia, we have Weinberger, I believe, is the head judge.
Yeah.
So and for people who don't understand, yes, there's many judges, but it's the head judge that make the final decision, because they are he is controlling it, and he is the main guy with Tyler Mannion, of course, at the Olympia. And what Weinberger likes is usually if he likes your physique, so everything is there now, Wesley, too. This is it.
True. This is the show to show how badly I want to be in the top ranking of the Olympia. With him being the head judge, you already know. That's why I said if I'm placed very closely to Rough Diesel or win, it means that his preference is that, which means it's also going to be very positive at the Olympia. Pretty much if I show up in the same shape or a little better again. So it's going to be positive regardless if I place very well at this show. So that's why I'm going to do my absolute best in every possible way to make that happen.
And also, Terence is going to give a routine of a lifetime, and so are you, because now we're going to see an epic posting battle also, correct?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I will amp up my presentation to match his. Of course, he's very different in his presentation, but I'm going to do that with the true classic bodybuilding in mind and nail that to perfection. So I'm going to use this week also to make that even better as well. Every pose simply needs to be perfect when you're standing next to someone like Rough Diesel. So I'm going to make that happen for sure.
Guys, remember, this is a must-see event, and please don't just go to Instagram. It's very important to pay for the stream, to support not only, obviously, the athletes, but without the promoters, there wouldn't be no show. So it's important they also get some money back to give it back into the athletes, because at the Dubai Pro, everyone, and Wesley, as a family man, 20,000... the classic prize money at shows is sometimes disrespectful low. But now, $20,000, the same amount of money to the men's physique and 212. They're doing it fair, and they're doing $20,000, Wesley. Talk to us a little bit. $20,000 as an athlete. You feel appreciated then, correct?
Then it's actually worth doing the show and actually going to it, even though you're already qualified, just because when you win, it's actually worth it. It's indeed an appreciation of all your efforts as a professional athlete instead of just like a symbolic award, basically, because a few $1,000s, which most shows give, it doesn't really cover the preparation and the travel and the accommodation that you need to account for when you're going to a show like anywhere in the world, basically. So, but yeah, with Dubai prize money, 20,000, then it's actually going to count towards a true kind of a salary if that could happen with multiple shows. I think that would explode. I think that's also why there are so many good guys in this show. It shows that when you increase the prize money to something that people find it worthy, that you will attract people from all around the world, the top guys of the class, and then it would be a great show. So yeah, I feel great that they put the prize money so much higher, and they doubled it compared to last year.
It's gonna be one crazy show, and we can't really look at last thing did you have Regan or did you have Nathan? You were there.
Honestly, I went to Friday morning. I went to the gym to do a check-in with my physique for the coach. But before I did my check-in, Nathan was there as well. So I could see literally exactly from inches away how he looked. And it's very hard to deny how good he looked. And I saw them both. Of course, I was there. Yeah, and I have to give it to Nathan if I'm being very honest. This complete package, especially in poses like the side chest or the frontal biceps, like when you just see them without even analyzing, your eye is drawn to Nathan because he's just a bit more complete, just a bit more conditioned, and the proportions are just a bit more pleasing, in my opinion. But yeah, it's always a subjective sport, as we all know, bodybuilding is. And Regan, he's simply massive. He's tall, he's big, he was very full. He's a great back shot, which is very complete, of course. So, it was a toss-up if you look at the scorecards with 1 point difference in the prejudging and the final. So it was so very close. But yeah, in my opinion, that small difference could have gone to Nathan instead of Regan, if I'm giving my subjective opinion.
Before we go, Wesley, can we see some of the masterpiece?
Yes, of course, of
Can we
course. Let me
see a little
see
bit
if I.
sneak peek, guys? This is exclusive.
Let's see.
Let's see. Let me just.
Let's see if I can actually bump up my camera view a little bit.
Yes, we're gonna get a sneak
I've
peek of
seen-
the package, guys.
Not the brightest, but okay.
Wow. Incredible. The structure is just crazy structure. That's the shot, yeah. And the twisting. We got to see the twisting, even though it's close here.
Let's see right through here.
We don't want to injure the masterpiece now. Yeah. Thank. Oh yeah, and that's. Did you eat anything? Celebration meals?
Well, actually, my coach, he said that my girlfriend, because of all of her support, because she went with me, she did my tanning, she did everything. So she deserved something nice. So we actually did have one meal out, but for the rest, it's straight back to the diet. And I think it's nice to have like a mental break to fill up a little bit more before going down, because today is going to be very low carb, to make sure I dry off a little bit more before actually heading back into the carb load, which is already in a few days. But the one big advantage for everybody, the weigh-in for Dubai is at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Which means you can literally just wake up, fast, do the weigh-in, and then start your carb up. Because in a European Pro, it was 7 p.m. on Friday. So that's a big difference in how you can look ultimately on stage. So that's going to benefit me as well. So yeah, it's that's gonna make my physique look better too, but it's the same benefit for everybody. So we will see.
Good luck, safe trip, and I'll be watching the stream.
Thank you very much. I'll do my very best.
Bye-bye. And remember to
stay golden.